Hi everyone, it's Kate. Today I'm going to be talking about like a Bridgerton ripoff movie though, called Mr. Malcoms List. It came out like 2 years ago and I just watched it with my sister. It's bad. Apart from poor acting, the plot was not there. But let's get into it. So first off, we have our main character, Julia. Well, kind of the main character. Julia, who is like a kind of a mean person. She's stuck up and slightly egotistical. She went on a date with Mr. Malcolm to the opera. He didn't like her, so he like dipped. Mr. Malcolm is like super like an eligible bachelor. So Julia does not impress Mr. Malcolm, and then there was like a caricature in the newspaper about it. So she's really embarrassed and she's really pissed off that like this guy doesn't like her because she's like getting past the age of like a eligible lady, which is so icky. I know it's history, but gross. Okay, gross. If you're just out of your teen years and someone is like, you're getting up there, crazy. But so she gets her cousin, who is a boy. His name is Lord Cassidy, which is, I don't know why, it just made me laugh. Like, it's such a dumb name. Like, Lord Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, he was stupid. That was really dumb. I don't want to talk anymore. So Julia is talking to her cousin, Lord Cassidy, and is like, hey, can you tell me why Mr. Malcolm doesn't like me because I'm great and also I'm imperfect? Which literally is so mean. Not that I would say that, it's just I am, you know? But then Lord Cassidy talks to Mr. Malcolm and is like, oh, Malcolm has a list of things that like he needs his future wife to be.
Here, item 4. You have some sort of list of qualifications for a bride?
Yes, I do. So?
Charm. And it's like amicable, charitable, can talk politics, has musical talent, doesn't have any relations to people who are lesser than me. Classist scum. No, but that one comes okay. So first off, kind of crazy, and it's supposed to be like he's guarding his heart because he doesn't want to get hurt, and it's like, shut up. Like, if you need a list to be like, I need someone who has hobbies and talents and is nice to me, it's crazy. like it's fine to have desired traits in a partner, obviously, but having like a literal list and throughout it he crosses stuff out whenever the girl like does it. So Julia is really upset about this, obviously, being like, what do you mean I didn't match his list? I'm an intelligent person, I am nice or whatever, I'm forgiving, I'm high in class. So then she's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get my friend, make Malcolm fall in love with her, and then at the end, like whenever he's fallen in love with her, then she's gonna be like, actually, I have my own list for you, which is so funny. I love petty people in movies. I think it's the funniest, silliest thing, especially when it's not like anything that's like horrible. Like, obviously revenge and petty are two different things. We're talking about pettiness because this is not like a revenge story. He did not like kill her family or something, but it's like she is so petty that she's like, I'm going to force my friend to make this guy think that she's the perfect person ever. He's gonna fall in love with her, and then I'm gonna be like, psych, it was me telling her what to do. Her friend Selena, the sort of main character, is her friend. They grew up together. Julia is like, hey girl, I'm your best friend, so how about you do this for me? How about you make this man fall in love with you and then be like, psych, I don't actually love you and I actually have a list of my own and you didn't meet the qualifications. Surprisingly, her friend is like, okay. Selena's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And they go to a ball, and then Mr. Malcolm is there, but he's in like the garden, what's it called, greenhouse? Selena goes in and there's like, oh, I didn't know you were there, sorry. And then they have a discussion.
I'm sorry to disturb you, sir. I thought this room to be unoccupied.
'Tis no matter.
She impresses him immediately, and it's just like her being her. She's just so awesome and cool. And he's like, hey girl, do you want to come look at paintings with me tomorrow? Which would work on me. She's like been coached on like the 10 rules. So she's like keeping it in her head, being like, I have to be nice, I have to be all this stuff. But Selena actually is like a pretty good person in general. So she's pretty much just being herself. There are a couple things throughout that she does kind of lie about, but it's not like anything crazy. It's just like musical talent and a family member who's quote unquote like an embarrassment. They're at the museum, and then a soldier comes by and is like, yo girl, Selena, I know you. You were friends with my aunt.
What a fortunate coincidence to come upon you so unexpectedly. How opportune.
I'm very pleased to meet you, Captain. I esteemed your aunt very highly.
And the actor who plays the soldier is Theo James from Divergent. He plays 4. Okay, I'm gonna be so mean. I hate Divergent so much, girl. Like, it is so... I should make a video about it. But it's like one of the dumbest movies ever, and I hate it so much. And I hate it. And his acting in that made me dislike him. Which I know you can't. You have to separate an actor and a character, but not with this. I hate him in the movie, and I hated him in this. But then after a few minutes, I kind of got over it, and I was like, okay, maybe he's kind of like a nice person or whatever. Theo James is called Captain Ossery, which dumb name.
I would be pleased to call on you if you would give me your direction.
She totally like see each other again, and she like tells him where she's staying and everything like that. She's like, oh my gosh, these two are gonna get together, because they like hit it off immediately, and they're very cute together, and I think they would work really well. They're both sweeties. Spoiler alert, they don't. Then the next day, Captain Odyssey goes to the house where Selena is staying. She is staying with her friend Julia. Julia and Captain Ossery go on a walk around a lake, and then they meet Malcom. They see Malcom there, and it's so awkward. And also Malcom has this like really ugly hat, and he wears it throughout like the entire movie. I don't know what it looks like a Mad Hatter caricature hat, because it's like it's like a little bit too big, and it's like really thick. I don't like it. It's so ugly. It literally ruined it. It ruined the entire movie. But also just the costume design is kind of lazy. Pants are not tailored. The dresses look bad. They're not ironed. As someone who loves looking at stuff, I did not love looking at this movie. In this scene, we find out that Captain Ossery, his aunt, told him that he should marry Selena. So that's why he came, because he was like, my aunt told me that I should marry you, like we'd be really compatible, blah, 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 blah. His aunt's dead, by the way. Selena looked after his aunt before she died. So she saw like the compassionate side of Selena, and he's like, and then the aunt's like, this would be a good match. So then Selena's like, oh my gosh, okay, but she doesn't really like say like, yeah, I'm gonna marry you. Obviously he's not saying it, he's just saying that's why I'm here. Selena and Julia go to a horse auction. Everyone is there, like for some reason everyone goes. The Captain Ossery and Malcom meet up with the 2 girls, and are like, hey, what are you doing here? And then another woman comes.
Well, I have never been in the same room with a captain, a lord, and an honorable. Though I'm not quite exactly sure what it means to be an honorable.
She is a disgrace to the family. She is Selena's cousin, and she's like super bold and very talkative. She's awesome. I love her. She's the best costume to the entire movie. But she's very, very much not a woman of this time. They're like, you're talking too much and you're being silly. Behead her. Oh. Julia quickly steps in and is like, oh, this is a cousin of mine. This is not Selena's cousin. So then Malcom is like, okay, good. Because one of his rules is that you can't have any relatives or the people that you associate with who are disgraceful or like not high up in like society, either like your actual role or like how you act, which is ridiculous. Have some fun. Have fun, friends. Selena and Malcom go horse riding, and then they talk, and then she's like, if you were still interested in Julia, would you want to date her even after you met her cousin? And then Malcolm's like, no, I don't want anyone who is like relatives with that girl.
Well, I mean, well, it's obvious, isn't it? That I would want my future companion's relations to have a modicum of gentility.
Obviously, Selena's upset because it's actually her cousin, and she's also like, that's just shitty. And then she's like, she gets upset, and then whatever. Then he's like, how about you go to a ball with me? And she's like, I don't really want to. And he's like, it can be a masquerade ball, and you can invite your parents, and Captain Odyssey can go. And she's like, okay. Which, I hate him. But then he purposefully So like when they are about to like walk back to their horses, because she got off and was like, that hurt my feelings. And then whenever they walk back, he steps on her dress and rips it on purpose. Because you know why? Because one of his rules is that they have forgiveness, a forgiving nature.
Miss Dalton, I'm so sorry I seem to have torn your dress.
Tis no matter, Mr. Malcolm. Can easily be repaired.
Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And you know for a fact, that boy's shoes have horse shit all over it. So you know that that dress is not only having to get stitched back together, but also washed by hand because washing machines did not exist. So one of their poor servants is gonna have to clean that. Screw you, Malcolm. No, but it's just like, it made me so upset because it's like, yeah, you want a partner that's forgiving, but you're also not gonna like incite them to see if they are forgiving. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, they're trying to make him be like, he's trying to like check off everything off the list, which he does. But then it's like, why? Why? I don't want a partner who rips my clothes. So you're off the list, Malcolm. Stupid idiot. I hate him. Like, I'm sorry, but like literally he has no redeeming qualities except that he likes Selena. Whenever everyone arrives at Malcolm's house for the masquerade ball, he invites Selena's parents. The parents accidentally let it slip that the girl is actually Selena's cousin, not Julia's cousin.
I do not care that Mrs. Covington is your cousin, and I'm sorry that I gave you that impression.
And Malcolm follows her and is like you could have just told me, which no. And also this pisses me off because it's trying to be like, well, he's a good person, he's changing for her, and he invites her to the he invites the cousin to the masquerade ball, but it's like, it doesn't, just because someone does something nice to you or like changes how they are for you because they like you does not mean that they're changing, or just because they like you. Like, he's still not a good person. He still has this like classist idea of a good woman's relationships, but just because he likes you does not mean that that idea is gone. It's just because he likes you. You know what I'm saying? He would not do this for anybody else. He said that. He would not do this for Julia. He would not do this for any other person, but it's just because he likes this girl. I don't know. It made me really upset. Beyond that, they go to the masquerade ball, and Selena dresses up as Selene, the goddess of the moon from Greek mythology. The ugliest outfit I've ever seen in my entire life. Makes me feel sick to my tummy. But it pisses me off. Okay, pisses me off is slightly dramatic, but it makes me so upset because costume designers did not slay the day away. I could have done a better job, and I've never even been to costume design school. It's so ugly, so insanely ugly, and it like hurts my insides because it's like, it looks like she took a sheet, draped it over herself, and then put a piece of chicken wire over her eyes, and then had a little moon on her head. At the masquerade ball, they're like falling in love, and then also, funny enough, Julia and Captain Ossory, I keep forgetting his name. Captain Ossory and Julia kind of hit it off, which is crazy because there's no development in their characters at all where they're like talking and stuff, and it's like, whoa.
Though I cannot regret the unintentional compliment you gave me.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your wigs and hoist your dresses.
Shall we?
The quad.
He kind of ate with his look. He was, I don't know, maybe pirate or bandit or something, but he kind of ate. I was like, ooh. I can see where the girlies are coming from. You kind of cutesy. But also, there's this one scene, and I feel so bad for my sister. I paused it like 3 times and skipped back just for a single frame where he had his mask on, but it was like slightly up and over, and he looked like the biggest dork in the world, and it was so funny. I know that's mean, I know, but it's funny, and that's all that matters. Selena gets, Julia's maid locks Selena in like a closet, which is so crazy, but then Julia dresses up as Selena and is like in like a library, a study, and tells Malcolm to go and visit her. She hands him a list of like of her own qualifications and then runs off. So then Malcolm's like, the girl I am in love with just told me that she didn't like me and all this stuff. And then Selena gets out of the closet and then catches up with Julia, who's in the same costume as her, And then Captain Ossory also comes and sees all of them, and then Malcom comes and sees all of them, and then Julia lets it slip that that's what's happening. And then Selena fesses up and is like, I know I did it too. And then Malcolm's like, I never want to see you again. And then Ossory is like, oh, ugh, yikes. So then they all part their ways, and then Selena leaves because she feels bad and she wants to go home. But then Malcom catches up with her, blah, 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 blah. They kiss, make up, he proposes to her.
From the moment I saw you in the moonlight of that orange room.
I still don't like him as a character though. But then, while that's happening, Julia talks to Captain Ossory, and Captain Ossory, oh my gosh, this scene literally the only scene in the movie that I was like, this ate so hard. So giggle worthiness through the roof at this point. So Captain Ossory, so like Julia's like, how about you like try to talk, because she doesn't know that Malcom is like going after her, right? So Julia's like, how about you go and try to talk to Julia, blah 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 blah, because if Malcolm's jealous that you're with her, he might want her back.
But you wouldn't even have to do anything. Although it might be a good idea if you did pay Selena a little extra attention.
Then Captain Ossory, oh my gosh, he like walks up close and he's like, does this look like I'm interested in her? And then I guess
I refuse to pretend an attraction I do not feel and stand by and let you ignore the one that I do feel. Does this feel as though I'm attracted to Miss Dalton? But I'm falling in love with you, Julia.
and I was like, oh my gosh. I literally kicking my feet, giggling, twirling my hair, screaming, slapping my sister in the face. They have no chemistry, but it doesn't matter. And that's kind of how the movie ends. But literally, it was like so out of left field. I loved it, but it was very out of left field. They had no interaction ever, except she shot a gun and shot a bird, and he was impressed, and they talked for like 10 minutes. Besides the no character development for anyone, this movie was not that bad. But it was pretty bad. Like, beyond just stale character traits, you don't sympathize or even care about any of the characters because they don't flesh them out in the slightest. This is like a 2-hour movie and y'all fumbled it because there is no emotional tie to any of these characters. They're all very one-dimensional. Selena is just like, oh, nice, good person who is doing this thing for her friend. And then Julia is like conniving and mad that she got stood up. Malcom is super proper and follows a list to the teeth to find a wife. Costume designs were so vile and gross, I hated it. Like anytime there was a dress on screen, I was like, ugh. All of the men's pants were like really poorly tailored, so it was just like super baggy, like poopy diaper baggy pants. And then the dresses were just poorly made. They were not like ironed. So like the last scene of the movie that's supposed to be super romantic with Selena and Malcom, her dress is like not ironed and it looks so bad. And also, especially at the masquerade ball, everyone's costumes are so bad. I could have done a better job going to Michael's for an afternoon. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I guess I'm just awesome. This movie was boring. It was funny to watch with like someone that I can talk through it with, but if I was watching it on my own, I think I would have like died. The neurons in my brain would have stopped firing. But yeah, that's it. Like and comment and subscribe. I know I've not been making many videos lately, but I'm gonna try. So if you want more of this awesome lady, like, subscribe. You don't do those things, you're gonna be dressed by whoever did these costumes for the rest of your life. We're just horrible. Okay, that's it. Bye.